Dack Faden these days is often memed on for dying in War of the Spark, and honestly, I haven't met many folks who are upset by his death that also knew what his magic did. Look at this, portals? Really? You looked at the dude with Cheeto arms and thought, portals? Honestly, from my perspective, it fits in a way I can live with. Don't worry, I got a reason. So that we're all on the same page. Dack's magic is called psychometry, which just means by holding an object, Crimson Dackery over here can learn its entire history, including spells drawn out of magic items. Dack is originally from Drakeston, a small Fioran town, but thanks to Dack's magic hands, he was able to get into a magic school on Fiora, and quickly befriended the best student in his class, Marsh. After a brief rivalry, they were inseparable. Until one day, the two cut class and got into a fight against what they assumed were common folks who couldn't even use magic. But as it turns out, not only could they use magic, they were good with steel too. They killed Marsh. When it happened, Dack almost let them kill him just for his spark to ignite as he lay beside his dying friend. Spared from dying and kicked out of the academy, Dack found his way back to Drakeston and became a local thief that even to folks that cared for him most, like his childhood friend and lover Mario, Dack was reckless. When stealing what he could didn't bring in enough to live, Dack leaned on his magic and decided it was time to put it to use on a heist to nab a powerful artifact on the plane of Elkabah, but was promptly caught, beaten by the Guardian Jinn, jailed, tortured, and had his hands forcibly dyed red, marking him forever as a thief. Dack toiled for weeks trying to nail down how exactly to planeswalk out of the jail, and once he was able to get back to Drakeston, Dack found the entire town destroyed and everyone dead. He ran from home and swore revenge. Dack moved to Ravnica and earned a reputation as a prolific thief with a series of madcap heists that not only boosted his profile, but thanks to his magic, actively made Dack stronger, and things were going fine until a knife found its way into Dack's possession that was used in Drakeston by another planeswalker named Sypha Grant. This dagger was highly sought after, not only by the Rakdos, but the Innistrad Falconwraths as well. But Dack, well, he wanted to learn more about Sypha, so he planeswalked directly to Innistrad, found Sypha and the Falconwraths, tipped both parties off to his presence, to which Sypha promptly sent a search party to look for him. While searching for Dack in a town nearby where he was hiding, Dack managed to intervene before Sypha could do another Drakeston incident, but escaped. This caught the attention of Soren Markov, who cut Dack a great deal. If he handed over the dagger, he would tell him everything he knew about Sypha. This information brought Dack to Grixis and face-to-face with Malfagor. Suffice it to say, he didn't learn much. So he returned to Ravnica, where Sypha was hiding, turns out. She was mid-plan to drain Vitu-Ghazi of its magic. He, alongside his entire network of miscreants and misfits, rushed deep into Selesnya territory, where Dack defeated Sypha, avenging the town of Drakeston. With his vengeance sated, Dack was left to drift. He tried to steal a powerful gem from the Boros, but got caught. Dack grabbed a random gauntlet on the way out and decided to hide out on Theros. The gauntlet told Dack secrets of ancient gods and mysterious islands. He found his way out to those islands and found a metal arm guard. Then later that night, Dack began to experience terrible nightmares. When his magic couldn't tell him anything about the gauntlet, Dack spoke with a local mage that informed him that he was afflicted with a sleep curse. Not wanting any of it, Dack went to the underworld to find a cure, which he did for himself. All it cost him was the gauntlet. Disappointed he wasn't paid, Dack returned to Ravnica. Years passed and Dack had generated an enormous debt to his patron, an Orzhov Pontiff, and sought to steal items to pay the ghost off. But whilst doing so, the planar beacon went off on Ravnica, and Dack went home to help, which he did to great effect. Dack helped shut down the planar bridge that Tezzeret was using to bring Eternals in from Amonkhet. But while preparing for the final battle, Dack would be faced with several Eternals alone and cornered. He was overpowered and immediately drained of his spark, killing him. At the end of the day, regardless of how you slice it, Mario was right. Dack was reckless. Despite having the capacity to learn the history of every object he could ever hold, he could never sit still long enough to act in full on the information he learned. Would Dack attempt big scores? Yeah, but he wouldn't get very far like a dog chasing a car. Dack wasn't the greatest thief in the multiverse because he was a great thief. He wasn't. Dack was a great thief because he believed he genuinely was. Which, now that I think about it, if we're going just based off say-so, we have new claimants in folks like Tiny Bones, for example.